Hi, this is Kim Pinkney, and welcome to my channel. Okay, so I just wanted to give a little update on what I was up to, and I am still working on the Bubblegum Ghostship in 3D, and I had discovered Naomi animation, so I'm experimenting with it in its free form before I commit to subscribing because it's like $7, $8 a month. I'm like, I don't know if I can commit. So just to show you what I've been up to. So we've all seen Gingerbeard here, and I started working on the Sugar Rush version of our heroine. Let me see, open, and that's Yummy. And when she gets a sugar rush, after eating just way too much sugar, eating too much of the townspeople, haven't quite decided which is going to trigger it, because she could be on the ship and it'll trigger. Come by just too much sugar. And she all of a sudden reverts to this kaiju form where she's ginormous. I don't know how tall I'm going to make her. I guess it depends on how hardcore the sugar rush is. But I'm giving her like a sleepers, and she's just going to go ham on whatever she's at. And she's got to work off that sugar rush. And then let's see, let's see. Now I've tried to animate this, and I'll show you what I got. Let me get out of this. In the other costume, let's see. Now because Naomi animation is on uh, the iPad. That's one of the reasons why I'm interested in it. And yeah, I don't think I put the little paws on the bottom of this. This was going to be like either a dragon or yeah, I guess it would have been a dragon or an alligator form. So she's like, depending on whatever area she's in and that she eats, she'll turn into this form until she comes down off of it. And so, like, this one is kind of mild. It's like a little gummy bear form. Uh, I need to put lights and all that other stuff on. I tried to put like a little paw print at the bottom, but you really can't see it that well. Um, and I'm putting everybody in a T form because it's easier to rig that way. So I've got that. Now, rigging, I'm going to have to do in Blender. I've tried bringing these characters into Mixamo, and it just was not working. She's way too short, or when I pull from the iPad and put it into Mixamo, they're like super microscopic tiny. No matter how big I make it in Nomad, I have to bring that in. I have to bring this into Blender. Blender, I can make it as big as I want, but when I bring it into Mixamo, it's super tiny. It has to be changed to an FBX form. But let me see. This one says now I can export to FBX. Oh, snap. Yeah, we had an update on this. So it happened in the middle of working on one of my projects, and it's like, holy crap. So let me show you what Naomi does and create a project. Uh, it's been kind of painful. You can see me in the reflection. But I was working on like the walk cycle of our basic Yummy. But it's like it has its moments where it's hard to spin. Hold up, let me get her playing. And this is one of the things I liked about this program is that I could spin it and watch her move. But then if you get too close, you're off the axis. So it's like, it sucks. But yeah, from a tutorial, I was learning how to do the walk cycle. Because this is like the free version, I don't think I'm able to apply an animation to her without creating it myself. So, and then in this form, I wasn't able to get the colors. However, I didn't know that now I have the ability to import an FBX. So I'm thinking about that. The other thing I had been working on just this morning, let me get out of this, get out of this, get out of you, go back to main menu. Projects. I brought in the kaiju version of the gummy bear because this program does not take well to tails. So that's another thing that I'll have to either in the kaiju form, and the big oversized head seemed to merge with the arm. So I'm like, crap, I've got to fix that. I'm going to either have to make the hat smaller. Let me see if I can get out of this and get a little stop. Trying to pinch it. It's kind of a bear to navigate. You know, let's see, there we go. But let's see if I can get closer. But yeah, you can see how like the helmet, hat, the hoodie hat is kind of morphed to the arm. So when I was animating it, trying to do like a little, what is it called? An idle animation where it's just sitting there kind of fidgeting. Uh, it kind of merged to the hat. So there's another thing that, I have to probably use Blender for. So other than that, so I was playing with that. And let me see, I don't think my other one, I don't think I saved the other one, Gingerbeard. Yeah, I don't think I saved the Gingerbeard animation. I didn't. Okay, so, but that was what I was doing in Naomi, what I've been doing in my spare time. Also in Nomad, unrelated to the Bubblegum Ghostship, I was working on other characters trying to get practice in, but probably the best practice is just working on, what I started out with, which was the Bubblegum Ghostship. I wanted to draw other characters. This was one that I had created when I was doing what was it called? I think it was an Inktober, but I decided to use like drawing on 3D models, and I love the results. But ultimately, I want to do 3D modeling like that. And I want to see them move. It's like one thing is not enough. So a quick spin of Old Boy here. I don't have the mystical pick going, but I am part of a group on Facebook, Black animators, Black anime manga artists, BAMA. I think that's what the acronym is. And we have these characters that we're putting against each other. So this guy is one that I pit against another. I don't know how the results were. It's just like this person versus this person. But I'm like, why don't we do something with that? And then also, here's a character from one of the creators in the group. And I just wanted to experiment with a cute looking character. The only thing I didn't do was the braids off the character, and I have no idea what her feet look like. So I'm like, shiznit. And I didn't create the gun, but doing the T pose, I would be able to bring her in. Like this is one of the other ones that I had exported to Mixamo, and it was like super tiny. Mixamo was able to take it, but it was just like microscopic. And I'm like, what am I going to be able to do with that? So also, oh yeah, let's do a quick Turner table. She's not my best work. I'm still learning how to make pieces and make things smoother, retopologizing things, just learning the programs basically. And, and how to optimize. Now, I found that if I had do the pressure on certain things, that would help a bit, but it was still the file size was too big. But supposedly that helps with optimizing my game. So we'll see how that turns out. Let's see, is there anything else of note? Oops. I think those are the only two that I decided to keep. Let's see. All the rest is just me working on different ideas, face sculpts and stuff. Like here's a redo of Yummy. I didn't know that I could fix my shoes and stuff like that. They look like crap right now, but you know it worked. The file size is low, and I'm able to bring this into what was it called? I was able to bring it into Blender, no problem. Uh, and I was able to, you saw the walk cycle, and that was based off of this. There's still some cuttings and clippings and stuff like that. It's not perfect. Hair looks like doo-doo because um, what is it called? I had took the, what is it called? The resolution down, you know, so I'm trying to make it optimized as much as possible. And then I discovered reprojecting and baking. So I just learned baking and I'm like losing my crap. But with me, if I'm doing it, I have to keep in mind that whatever I'm going to bake, and with the baking is you could take a low resolution item and a high resolution item and take the images off the high resolution item and project it onto the smaller to optimize your files and stuff. And I'm like, oh, but once you do it, you can't really do much else to it. So it's like a final result. So whenever you create something, you're going to have to kind of be mindful. So if you're going to do like a face like this or something like that, and you wanted to reproject it onto like a face that's like got a million polygons, and you need to optimize it so that the file size is small enough to for Mixamo not to reject it. So, you know, I don't know. I'm still learning, but low file size is the best. Mixamo will take it super duper quick, and I'm wondering, and it has to be humanoid if you're going to use Mixamo. If you're in Blender, Blender's got a lot more stuff going on, but I can't get Blender on the iPad. So the whole point was me being able to use the iPad. But anyway, I digress. So I've been working on this, and I don't want to say it's time consuming, I just haven't been able to get in front of a computer. The other things I was working on, and you can catch them on Instagram, hither, and me. And then I was participating in the Inktober, but I didn't get very far because I was like, I gotta work on stuff. I gotta do stuff. I can't just do fun stuff. So if you want to see some of the ideas, this also worked into. I hated the prompts. A lot of them seem to repeat to me, but if you would, I was using it as a like different opportunities to enhance the world. So for passport,
Go, and on the count of three, go, 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 go,
right,
go, go, go.
yeah. So for passport day 7, I used all kinds of like little cookie products for his passport stamps, and I also was able to use my 3D model to flesh out the picture. So even if I don't do it completely in 3D, I could also use my models as something as a thing to trace. So I also used my models. Let's see. Okay, so for the first one was day 1 was backpack, and I used a Pez dispenser, and you can see my struggles. I started out like with her on her back, then a backpack, and then I'm like, well, let's try to show some of the ships. So I started to start fleshing out the characters. What do I want them to look like? My bears. But I found that if I draw, I could give a lot more personality to my characters. So it's like I've become torn. Do I do um, the drawing or do I do the 3D? I'm not that good with the 3D modeling yet. And if I do the face modeling, I would have to be in Blender and then use the tools in Blender. The Naomi only goes so far. It's kind of, it's got the face tracking type of thing, but I'm not rigged for it. So what I might end up having to do is I might end up having to go into Blender and then this is here in her kaiju mode. She's not completely out of it, but she stepped on people. So I don't know, something like that might take her out of kaiju mode. Like, ew. So I'm going to have fun modeling houses, food houses, and things like that. So that might be another thing going forward. Oh, let's see. Didn't mean to pop out of it. This one's going to be a fun place to model. I haven't given it a name yet, but it's my exotic locale. It's going to be like a big bento box in the shape of one of those little octopuses. And then you've got different little fun stuff inside, and you have to enter the gate and stuff like that. They're using a peep as like a little away boat, and they've got different little barrels and stuff that might have more of the crew members in them, things like that. Also have hike, which is I'm not going to get into the prompts, but she's eating like a spider queen when they're like in some sort of spider mountains, and it's like there's meatballs and the spaghetti are the webs. So it's a lot of fun trying to figure out different things. Let's see. Okay, there's trek, which feels the same as hike. So like I said, I just wasn't really happy with the prompt, so I kind of stopped. I was just kind of getting pissed off. I just felt like I was drawing the same thing twice. Okay, here's that discovery one. And yeah, so they discovered, oh no, I'm sorry, exotic. My apologies. And I'm figuring that I'll have like different types of oceans and whatnot, and that would be, but I don't know if anybody would be interested in playing the game. It's going to be kind of like an open world type of thing, open platter, open buffet, I guess, and that would be the world, the table, and different pools of liquids. Oh, see, like there's hike. This was going to be a video that I was doing live stream. I don't remember if it actually live streamed, but it took me about 4 hours because I still had to figure out what I was doing. But she goes into kaiju mode, and she's taking out the spiders. The ship that's way down below. Yeah, they're just going through this valley of spaghetti. Oh, one of my favorite things in the trek through the frozen tundra, like these little areas right here are like ice cream, and this was all like a brand of ice cream. What is that called? Like the Choco Taco. Those are what's making the bridges. They're on a Klondike bar. They're pushing a Klondike bar. Got bears pulling it. and the outpost, the remote outpost. And then they had remote. I got pissed. I'm like, really? Yo? But I changed remote into something that's kind of sad because she's by herself. Um, Here's like where he's taking her shopping and for boots. So everything was kind of dealing with outdoors and hiking and things like that, and was really annoying. I like the randomness. So the one thing that the Inktober thing did for me was kind of get my brain working on how can I make candy boots? How can I, what are their proportions to each other? Things like that. And then moments on the ship, the ghost ship, and the ghost ship is a pistol shrimp. Um, like the cannons would be from one of the claws, plus the ones on the side. Plus, I had my Pez dispenser backpack, and this is up in the crow's nest. And I used the ship to kind of give me the right proportion, not proportion, but and whatnot like that. I'm sorry if it's hard to see, but you can see it if you're on Pinkney Kimberly, my Instagram. And let me know if you guys have any ideas on what would be a good idea to throw into the game. I'm going to do some more developer-ish stuff when I have access to my computer. And I'll do some live drawings and stuff like that. So if you guys have ideas on, what would look good on, food-wise in a town, everything's kind of like a medieval town. We might have, well, I might have different time zones depending on the food that's being created. So there might be like an Italian type of platter. It might be desserts. So right now we're on the kids table, things that kids like to eat. And then we'll go to the adult table when the world opens up a little bit more. But right now, these are just platters that are on a kid's table, things that kids would eat. But yeah, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. And that was just my little update. And yeah, I'm going to have a lot of fun with this because there's going to be a lot of kawaii type of foods and stuff like that. Like it's just going to be a big bento box of that has come to life. And then I have different areas that will have the bad guys in it and stuff like that. So I hope you guys hang with me and catch the journey in creating this world. Oh yeah, nomadic. I used nomad sculpt. Probably didn't register with folks, but that's the symbol for nomad. And then there is our ginger beard. But I think I have a better shot at, I don't know, capturing their emotions and stuff, with drawings rather than 3D. But we'll see how it goes. There's an app for that, right? Snacks. She is fishing for goldfish crackers. So she's in the middle of the ocean, one of the, wherever you would put a goldfish cracker in. And I tried to make it look a little bit more like a goldfish cracker. There we go. And usually in the commercials they had the goldfish cracker with sunglasses on. So, don't want to lose your cool. Now here's remote, and I think this is where I really got pissed off that remote is similar to, I don't know. Things just felt like they were repetitive. So this is what I was going to have her the first town be like a s'mores type of town. And the crackers, the graham crackers, the marshmallows, and things are on fire. We got people, townspeople like, she said I was delicious. You know, she's underneath a dock, and it's kind of like low tide. And then behind her are cracker rats that she eats to keep her going. But she had her kaiju moment, and she just destroyed the town. It's melted, melt, and they all have like little. They have one has a straw, another one has a fork, another one has a toothpick, and they're all hunting her down. And she's like really sad because she has no friends in this world. She can eat everything. She's a monster. So that is the character there. We'll find the monster. You know, she's a little girl. You know, everything here is edible for her. So she's kind of losing her mind. Mother rat is trying to protect her baby rats. They're all hiding behind her, like in the shadows. You know, they don't know when their time will come, but she's been eating them. And they are scared to get her away from her. They're just terrified. Everybody's just horrified by this kid. The sun, I made that into like a little goddess girl. She's got like fiery hair, and she's pretty much licking an ice cream cone with them on top. So eventually the sun will go down and they'll be able to escape. I kind of like the idea of it not being like super violent. You know, that's like a challenge. But that's it. That's how far I've gotten. I think it's sun. Nope, 12 remote. I think I might have jumped around. Yeah. No, I guess I got up to 12. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for sitting for my little recap, and I hope to see you guys in the next video where I am going to be working on my own assets, you know, little towns and stuff like that, as I'm learning how to use Godot and going to make all this stuff into a game, or at least some sort of interactive whatever. Alrighty, okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.